Well, good morning. Todd Warren here in the Forecast Center with another quick video update on the prospects of severe weather here across the Arklatex for the Saturday afternoon and evening. As we begin things, quick look at pinpoint Doppler. Recording this about 11:15 a.m. this morning, and you can see the line of thunderstorms which is making its way into north central Texas and working its way towards the east. We are looking at this again arriving in our area later on this afternoon with several threats of possibility. In the last video update, I broke down the basically the main threats, and it looks like damaging wind continues to be the main threat that we're most worried about. A few tornadoes also will be possible later on this afternoon in spots, as well as some large hail. So I'm going to kind of go through exactly the timing, what we can expect, and actually how you can help us out here as we go through the next 12 hours or so. As far as current watches, again with those thunderstorms off to the west, we do have tornado watches in effect just to the west of the Arklatex for that line, which is making the progress towards the east, and expect these to be extended downstream to include the Arklatex as we go through the afternoon. And as far as the timing of this, very latest from a combination here of Futurecast and the high-resolution rapid refresh model, and actually pretty good agreement now in both models on the prospective timing here. It looks like we'll see the leading edge of the line begin to move into the northwestern sections of the area early this afternoon. Notice the discrete storms trying to form out ahead of us, and we'll have to watch those very carefully as well. But the main threat will come from the line itself. As I advance this into the evening hours, you can see that line extending from about, say, Dirks to just west of Texarkana near DeKalb down to Tyler by 6 p.m. So as we work our way into the latter stages of the afternoon, the line itself off to our west right now, not severe. Okay, but it is going to be encountering a much more unstable atmosphere as it moves into the Arklatex later on this afternoon. Again, timing couldn't be any worse for us as it's moving through at the peak heating time for us when the atmosphere is most unstable. And you can see that line will continue to slide its way towards the east through southwest Arkansas during the early evening hours. As we go through the evening hours, it continues to move on through the region. So it looks like as far as Shreveport, main severe weather threat could, emphasis on capital all caps could, hold off until this evening, but it looks like we still could have a few thunderstorms pop up ahead of that line. And as we go through the evening hours, Futurecast showing, again, the main threat shifting more towards the east and heading through your Sunday. Still a possibility for some rain, mainly eastern sections of the area during the afternoon, and we will see that threat obviously diminish moving forward. One thing we'll be watching closely today is flash flooding potential. That risk looking relatively low. Main concern is going to be across the northern sections of the area where the line we might see more persistent bands move through, dropping a little bit more heavy rain. You can see a few spots could see upwards of 2-3 inches. So there is a possibility for some flash flooding. We don't have a flash flood watch in effect, so it doesn't appear as if it's going to be a widespread threat, but something the last week of no rain obviously has helped that situation quite a bit. Now, as far as how you can help us out as we go through the day today, what I would like, if you could, obviously when it's safe, if you see some damage, see some hail, take a picture, post it on my Facebook page at facebook.com/warnweather or on the NBC6 Facebook page, and we'll be more than happy to pass that along to both folks who are downstream, because even though the radar says that we might have quarter-sized hail or, you know, we have 50-mile-per-hour winds, it always adds extra emphasis when we can say this line produced down some trees in DeKalb, okay? And then that obviously would help folks downstream, give them an idea of what's headed their way. And we can easily show those on the air and pass that information along to the Weather Service as well. So kind of think of a teamwork here to get all the information out as much as possible as we go through the afternoon and into the evening hours. Now, as far as hail sizes, if you see some hail and report some hail, you know, don't say marble-sized hail, because marbles come in different sizes. These are basically the classifications of how we determine the size of hail. Pea-sized hail, you see quarter-inch. Then we go to dimes, which is half-inch. Pennies, a three-quarter. Nickel, 7/8. And it becomes severe when we get up to quarters, and you can see the other various sizes that we would be looking at. So that's basically a kind of a guide, if you will, if you do have some hail, to kind of let us know. Because if you tell me we got hail in New Boston, I'm going to ask you what's the size of the hail. Okay, so that's information that is very, very helpful. So again, let's give you a look at the current radar right now. And again, you can see here we are in the Arklatex. Really nothing too much as far as rain. Let me switch over to the radar in Shreveport and show you that we have a few scattered showers over the southern sections of the area, but this activity just now starting to get going. We'll have to keep an eye on that, but switching back over to the Fort Worth radar, you can see the main threat is going to be with this line, which is making some progress towards the east. As I put this in the motion during the past hour, you can see the motion of this towards the east. Basically towards the east, and again, it's scheduled to move into especially the northwestern sections of the area early this afternoon. Point out too that all the severe thunderstorm warnings to the north of this, as I switch this over to the radar out of Oklahoma City, you can see the line is a bit more intense in terms of the winds it's producing in Oklahoma. And as of right now, not quite as intense further to the south in Fort Worth. But nonetheless, wind going to be the biggest concern, as I mentioned. Also looking at a few possibly strong tornadoes later on this afternoon, this evening, especially across southwest Arkansas and northeast Texas, southeast Oklahoma. Northern half the areas where that threat may be a bit, as far as the big tornado threat in terms of the size of them, that is where that could be a little bit higher. Obviously, hail also something that we'll be watching for moving forward, and the very, very heavy rain. So that's the latest on what we're looking at as far as the timing. Again, we'll continue to keep you updated with further updates here on ArklaTexHomepage.com, and eventually we'll begin some line coverage as these storms make their way into the Arklatex.